And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulous. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. What opens with Eva being a waitress, and what closes with Nene being a big sis? If you guessed the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 14, Barcelona Breakdown, you're correct, or you probably got that from the title, didn't you? You ain't guessed nothing. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around or joining us live to see how we get from opening to closing. I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Let us proceed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're working on 1,000 subscribers, so just go on and like and subscribe just right now. I like you, so go on and like me. Or like the video. You don't even have to like me, just like the video. Or I guess you could not like it. I don't know, shoot. You know we supposed to say all of that. We're working on 1,000 subscribers. This is the Black Panther shake it off dance. Y'all remember when they was shaking it, when he was drinking it off, and people were like, shake it off, shake it off. Shake it off. Let us proceed. Okay, so it's vacation day 2. It's 8 a.m. We see Miss Eva. She's making the rounds. She's offering up coffee. Most people, there are no takers for the most part, except for that Eva does manage to give some coffee to Sheree. And her back, Sheree's back is killing her because this low quality chateau, it's not a chateau, villa that they're at, it's just awful. We see Candy at breakfast. She's joined by Cynthia. Neither say that they slept well. Cynthia says she slept with Nene. And I like that. But you know, just slept with Nene. And then we see footage of a 3 a.m. twerk session. And that was helping Cynthia and Portia. So they were twerking and dancing. And you know, it kind of made me think. You know, I watched the TV show and I just like accept what they give me, because some of it, because I just was like, oh my gosh, at the end of the last episode, when they saw the thing from Nene, from Croy's wife, and she was texting and sending videos and stuff, and it was like dun dun dun, and that was the end of the episode. I'm like, oh, I guess the people just went to bed after that, and then we'll see them again the next morning. But no, after that, it was all kinds of stuff that went on, and at 3 a.m. they was twerking. Now, we don't know what kind of time that they're on because, you know, traveling, I don't know what the time differential is. They might have just had their dinner at like 2 a.m. I don't know. But anyway, they was twerking at 3 a.m., having a party and a good time. Everybody was happy. Just before Marlo arrives, they are talking about Marlo going after Candy, and then they talk about the videos and stuff from Croy's wife, and then Sheree is giving Croy's wife's daughter Brielle and her talking about the video. I don't know. But anyway, we already know that Sheree already knew about the video because Kim had shown it to her at the restaurant. She's like, I'm dead. Ha 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 ha. Whatever, Sheree. And then Candy is like, you know, so they're talking about the child and like how her behavior is taking the video and what it means. And then Candy is like, you know, well, sometimes the children need to be disciplined. I know my daughter, it gets into stuff and I have to tell her to settle down. Basically, that's what she's saying. And then, you know, she need to be pulled to the side sometime and set straight. And Sheree is like, well, I'm not in it. And then Eva is there, and they ask about Eva's adjusting. And she says, you know, she's adjusting cool to the group, but she's not used to people asking about her sexuality in public. And then they kind of go back and forth a little bit. And Shamia, who's not even officially in the group, it's like, well, in this group, that's how we do it. And Eva's like, well, don't be asking me no questions about no sensitive nature if I don't want you asking me no questions about a sensitive nature. And then Shamia or somebody's like, well, you brought up so-and-so. And Eva's like, exactly. If I bring it up, then it's okay to discuss. But she ain't give us like that much, you know. I would have liked a little more head rolling, or not really, but anyway. Yeah, I guess that's just my if I were given those lines, that's how I would have interpreted them. But anyway, so they have that little thing. And then Eva says in her interview that Shamia is thirsty, and Shamia's position in this group, you know, we already talked about that. Okay, so then I like Sheree's red curly wig that she's wearing. Marlo is repeated by Candy. Marlo said something to Candy, and then people were like, what'd she say? And then Candy is like, she said that Portia knows, you know, if it's true, then you need to just admit whatever is going on. Don't be out here trying to lie or make up stuff or whatever, because the truth will come out. It will. Portia knows about that, you know, having a back pedal. and Portia got a little, you could see her jaws get tight. And Portia's like, I don't pedal. And then Kandi is like, in her interview, Portia backpedals so much, she should be doing a moonwalk. And then Nene comes in and she's like, oh, y'all wonder why I was late and why I didn't come? It's because I booked the group hotel rooms. We're going to stay someplace civilized tonight. And then the women are all excited. Woo, they are excited. They excited. Except, but first, you know, Nene is like, we going to go to the hotel. But, you know, Cynthia had made arrangements for us to go and do some go-kart racing or something. And she planned out some little activities for us. So they're checking in. You know, they get on the bus to go on the activities and they checking in on the 50-cent bucket list challenge, who did what or whatever. And we see Marlo twerking and they saying, well, that ain't on the list, but it should be. And Marlo was like, oh, I can't put that on social media, or somebody says that. I'm like, but TV is bigger than social media. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I don't know how many followers she has, but I wouldn't have seen it on her social media, and I saw it now. And then Cynthia says she's open to new challenges being added to the list. And someone is like, okay, well, let's add Kiss a Girl. And then Cynthia is like, okay. And then Kandi, okay, Kandi. And Kandi is like, no. I will not be kissing anyone else in this group, she tells us in the interview. Then we see Portia. She volunteers to kiss Cynthia. And then Portia, you know, Cynthia is like swishing her mouth out and everything. And then Portia is like not a fan of Cynthia's kisses. Is that how she be kissing? Well, And then Kandi is like, now Portia knows she know how to kiss. She need to quit playing. So anyway, then we see some street, they're exploring the street, you know, and then arriving at the go-kart. And then Portia and Shamia are making fun of Cynthia's tank. And I think the tank had like some different models and it had her on it. But I don't know if she was added on because I missed it because I was taking notes. But tell me, was the gag funny? And the gag is not funny, or the gag is, it was really funny. Was it funny? I don't know. Okay. So then, so we see that, and then they're go-kart racing. It looks like they go-kart racing on the street, but I think it must be a track type situation or a designated area. And then Portia like, oh, I love going fast. I'm so good. I'm a good driver. And then she ends up rear-ending another go-kart, but she blames the brakes. She's like, it wasn't me. It was the brakes. Nobody believes her. None of us believe her. Is this a go-kart? Okay. So then they go to eat at some market. It's like you know, like it's dead animals hanging up in there. And I guess, yeah, you know, there's a time when it's like an animal and then it's meat. And then I guess when it's hanging up, is it a dead animal or is it uncooked meat? I don't know. But anyway, okay. So they go to this market, and then some basket with Cynthia and Kandi about not taking. Oh, there's some banter with Cynthia and Kandi about not taking their wig off. Then they, the shrimp with the head on it and giving head is a convo about that. And then Portia eats octopus. You know, she's supposed to be a vegan, but she eats the octopus because that's what she want to do. And she's grown; she can do what she wants to do. Don't nobody care. Somebody cares probably, but not me. Okay, don't nobody in this studio care. Okay, so then And Nene asked, well, what was discussed at breakfast or brunch when I wasn't there? And the folks asked, you know, how to handle friends of out of control kids. And Nene is like, well, Kim is wrong. She took pictures of that car months ago. I don't know what our issue is. I didn't know we had an issue. I don't know why she taking pictures and holding on to them. And Sheree, you know that I don't have no roaches. So you should check your friend. You should have said something to her. You know I don't have no roaches. Are you going to check your friend? And Sheree is like, well, I'll let her know what we discussed, but I'm not going to tell her how to raise her kids. That's what she's saying in the interview. And I don't know if it's like just raising her kids, but just, you know, no, Sheree is not going to check her, Nene, because Sheree is complicit, and it's like Kim is her boss or her fearless leader or something. So I don't know. I don't know. So I wouldn't be holding my breath for any checkation from Sheree. Sheree is trying to secure her bag. So she feels like this is her path, I guess, or maybe she just loved Croy's wife. I don't know. But it's not a good look to me. It's like, you know, make Sheree look, ugh. And then Marlo is like, well, Portia, are you going to check? Are you going to talk to Croy's wife? And Portia is like, maybe, but she ain't planning to talk to Croy's wife either. And then, I don't think. because they were all part of the whole thing. Because she's like, oh, I didn't know anything was going to happen. Now, maybe she didn't know consciously, because when you roll the footage back, it says, oh, well, it's video coming, stay tuned. But in all of the goings on in life, you might not hear and record and process every single word that happens. When we're watching it back on the video and we know what happens, we're like, aha, but we don't know if she, I don't know. Okay, so then we see Nene, and she's like, well, I did have roaches in my house. I had 3 of them, and we named them Kim, Brielle, and Croy. And somebody in there, I think it was Atlien, Atlien. I think in her on her blog, Straight from the A, it's like a plug, I guess. But I read the recap last night, and she called them Kim, Kim, Croy, and the kid. Marlo and Portia are arguing, and Nene is concerned about Marlo's turn up. She like, Marlo will take it there, and I don't know where this is going. We in a whole nother country. Hey, and Candy is like, yesterday when I said Marlo was negative, nobody agreed. That's what she's saying in her little interview thing. Then they talk about Cynthia's IKEA furniture, like all of Cynthia's stuff. I guess it's like supposed to be an insult or whatever. Cynthia's like, my furniture comes straight from Swiss. Where's IKEA? Swiss? I don't know. My furniture comes straight from the country that IKEA is made in. And, but they do have bigger doormats at IKEA because, part of the whole conversation had been dogging out or talking about Portia for having a small doormat. And then Portia starts to cry, and the people are like, well, what's going on? And she's like, my mom gave me the doormat. And I'm like, did Portia's mom make her transition and we don't know? Why is she crying? And I think she's just playing it. I think she's playing it. She's trying to get sympathy, but she didn't get any sympathy from me. She didn't get any sympathy from me. Did she get any from you? Because I was kind of like, why is she crying? It just seemed so foolish and fake. And I didn't understand. Maybe she was crying because of the stress and pressure. But she's been on the show for a long time. But I'm just saying, like a person like me who's not used to reality TV and like all of the stuff coming at you, I might break down and cry like, oh my gosh, the pressure. I don't know what to say. I don't know what not to say. They record and I don't know what's going to come back. I don't know how I look on TV. I might cry like, oh my gosh, this is too much. Very bad connection. I said, I might cry because this is too much. Oh my gosh. Is it me saying something that's causing it to, my very bad connection is coming up. It's not mine. I'm not claiming it. Y'all take that with you when you go. Okay, so then Marlo is like, she like me. Oh my gosh. Marlo is like me. She's like, you didn't cry when you lied on Candy, fake ass crying. Now, I don't think she said that. But she's basically like, Portia is fake. Her hair is fake. Her boobs are fake. Her nails are fake. She had a whole litany of fakeisms with Portia. And then she's like, I'm like, I wrote she may be crying because she's embarrassed. And then Marlo is like, putting the low and more. And Marlo says, Portia says that she did not take a picture of Portia's mat. But I'm like, in a way, you did take a picture of her mat because you're talking as you're walking. You're being filmed. So when you say, oh, this mat is too small, you don't know if they're going to use that footage. But they do have you saying that out loud. So they could use that footage. So that's like taking a picture to me. Maybe you don't have control over it, but you did say that out loud instead of saying it in your head. And then, okay, so then Marlo and Portia are arguing, and they're arguing, and then Marlo takes, they're arguing, and Portia is like, your shade is mean, you're mean, and you're making me cry, and she's, fanning her, but she's so delicate, but she's like, she not too, I don't believe Portia, I don't believe her, I don't believe her. And then Marlo ends up taking the fan from Portia's hand, and of course, this is like all reminiscent of Portia being in that situation of Kenya putting something in her face. And so then there's some escalation, and it seems like a fight could break out, but it doesn't break out. But when she takes the fan, when Marlo takes the fan out of Portia's hand, Portia does raise up on her, didn't she? Like raise up, like hold on a second, but it doesn't, and then the people are like, come on, let's get out of here, y'all. We in Spain. I don't know how to get y'all out of jail here. Let's keep it moving. And then it's like Cherie, Shamia, Portia are talking. And then Eva, Nene, Candy, and Cynthia are talking. And Candy is like, every time someone gets into an argument with Portia, they bring me up. And Portia and her little group is like, you know, I'm talking about what Marlo did to Nene. I could be talking about what Marlo did to Nene. Called to me in confidence. But Marlo is just a street person. Hold on a second. I got a very bad connection. I'm still here though. Just stick with me. Okay, it says bad connection over. Okay, so then they bring up so Portia is like, you know, I could talk about how Marlo, she's just a street person, and Nene told me what she did to her, but she told me in confidence, so I'm not going to bring that up, but I could bring that up, but I'm not going to do that. And then Sheree is like, you know, poor Portia, she can't catch a break with these ladies. And maybe she can't, and I'm just mean, and I can't see it. I don't know. Okay, so then they're back at the villa, and it's like Eva, Nene, and Cynthia, and Candy, and they're all packing. And then Nene is on the phone with her hubby, and Candy is on the phone with her hubby. And Portia and Shamia and Sheree arrive back at the villa, and then Portia is like, she comes into, you know, and when the women talk to their husbands, they like, you know, told them what was going on and what happened, and you know, the fight and some other stuff too. And then Portia comes into Nene's room, and she's like, this might be in her interview too, but I just feel beat down. I mean, I reached out to these girls to try to smooth it over, to try to smooth it out with Candy, and then Marlo is just one more thing, and I just feel broken. Okay, so then Portia goes into Nene's room, so she said that in the interview, and then she's like, you know, thank you for inviting me, but I gotta go. And Nene is like, why? And Portia's like, it feels Portia says, you know, she feels that Nene has issues with anger and she can relate. And Nene says she can relate. And she hates that I hate that you feel this way. This is a sisterhood with its highs and its lows. And I want you to push through the lows, sister. Push through, push through. And then Portia's like, I just feel so hurt, and like these people don't treat me like my mother and my sisters do, and they don't just love me and accept all of my BS. They don't treat me like family. And Nene is like, you need to say I messed up, and you know, since you haven't said that, you know, the folks are upset. And Portia's like, well, I went individually to the people, and I thought that was good. And Nene is like, well, you know, and Portia's like, but I'm just going to leave. And then Nene is like, well, I feel like a big sister again. That's all I got written down. I think that's the end of the episode. But that's it. That's what I got. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. I'm Angela again. The channel is Be Fabulous You. We're working on 1,000 subscribers. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Today is the best day ever. So be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Peace. Be you.